talk about these wingsuit trends as you add new layers of risk.
So basically, what we can see over here is that when we look at base jumpers, so in the past decade, obviously, the population overall grew significantly. When we started looking into base jumping and we did a lot of research around that, there was about 1,500 base jumpers, around the world. And it's kind of an easy population to study because they are very cohesive and you know how to get to them. And once you're one of them, and these guys, again, because of the media and the X Games and everything else, and the fact that everybody started to see what they are doing and they were inspired by that, the population grew to around 25, almost 3,000 nowadays. And what happened is that then we start matching technology into that. So initially, when we developed the wingsuit flying, and we're talking about 1999, when the first commercial wingsuit came out, and I was one of the test pilots of this wingsuit, there were a lot of different guys. So
just to explain, it looks like a flying squirrel.
Correct.
As opposed to just a jumpsuit.
At the previous 100 years, so basically all through the 1900, there were about 75 different innovators, entrepreneurs that tried to develop a wingsuit. And almost all of them died during that process. I'm talking about 73 out of 75 or something like that. The last one was a very famous skydiver from France, Patrick de Gallardon, and he developed the suit that then became the commercial suit that we use later on. And he died just because of, again, a mistake of stitching his parachute to the wingsuit. When we took that wingsuit out and started to jump with it, we were basically becoming the test piloting of that new technology. But the technology was not on par with where we are as pilots, and that's where the fatalities came from in the beginning. Afterwards, we started testing it in different wind tunnels, and we brought scientists in order to help us to develop better wing. I mean, it's not only a material. There's several levels, and the air comes in from the front, and it inflates that, and you get an actual lift like a plane would get. Maybe not enough to get a lift and to go up, but if you get enough speed, you can go up for a little bit, then keep on going down.
Right.
The problem was that it was much harder to control, right? Because we have such a large wing in you, or where you're in part of the wing, it's very hard to control that if you don't know what you're doing, and then we start seeing fatalities. In the beginning, the fatalities were relatively low in rate, because what we did, we just wanted to master the flying. So we went to, after we mastered it, obviously from a plane, we jumped off very high cliffs, but all we wanted to do is just be able to stabilize ourselves in the air, enjoy the flight, and land. But once we mastered that, then the whole field evolved to start doing proximity flying. So now you're not jumping from a cliff and getting away from it. Now we're jumping from a cliff and getting back to the cliff and try to fly next to the cliff between the waterfall and the cliff and start getting very close. And this is where the fatalities start to spike. And what we see in that graph is that in the past decade, we saw more fatality-related, more wingsuit fatality-related jumps than anything else.
Right.
And this is where it spikes. And now we're losing about 30 to 35 guys a year out of a 3,000 people population, which is quite high.